All right, so here's the deal. The mayors in the burbs are now having to have meetings, emergency meetings, trying to figure out how to put possible legislation together quickly. How do they best protect their communities? And how do they also do the humane thing for people that don't speak the language or are being dropped off not knowing where they are by these renegade bus drivers, bus companies, all of that? Mm-hmm. Mayor Gary Grasso joins us now, and he is Mayor of Burr Ridge. He was in one of these latest meetings. Mayor, thanks for coming on.
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Andrea.
Good morning, Mayor.
I don't envy the position you or any of the mayors are in. So this most recent mayoral meeting, contentious, unified, what's the take?
Informative. Mayor Brandon Johnson of Chicago is a member of the executive board of the Metropolitan Mayors Caucus. That's a group of area mayors. There's about 25 of us from different organizations, mayoral organizations, and we periodically get together. Mayor Johnson's part of that board, and so we have access to about 275 municipalities that are all around Chicago. And so he chose that forum for a Zoom meeting with us last week to update us on what his new arrivals program is and the obvious stress that he inherited and is still under because this migrant situation has been going on since August of 2022, when the first busload or two of migrants were sent, in fact, to Burr Ridge without any notice by the governor's staff. So there are still many problems, and he was trying to inform us of what he was going to be trying to ask of mainly the federal government.
I think what you did was the right thing, Mayor. A couple weeks ago, you said this is happening. It's coming. The migrants are coming here. They're being sent to Glen Ellen, Joliet, other communities throughout the suburban area. But you said, let's have a discussion on this. So what happened? Did you hold kind of a forum and have residents weigh in, or was this just for the city council to talk about what to do?
No, Andrea, it was the executive board of the Metropolitan Mayors Caucus, about 25 of us with the Mayor Brandon Johnson's staff. He is looking for us to assist him in making his pleas to Washington. I think his belief is, and certainly my belief is, that there's a broken border situation created by Washington. They've allowed these migrants to come in at this stage legally, and I have some real concerns about how well this asylum program is even working. And so Mayor Johnson wants increased funding for shelters and food and services for these, approximately already about 35,000 migrants that have come in. And he's reached out, he's told us to the federal refugee programs that the government runs and trying to access money and to relocate these migrants within Illinois to areas that want to accept them. And he's also looking for increased access to work authorizations to make it easier for these migrants to seek employment in the types of jobs that probably these migrants are more than willing to do and that we have a great demand to fill. So it was an informative exchange. There was no animosity anywhere. It was, trying to, again, for every mayor, for small village mayors like mine and Mayor Johnson, a large city, it's about public safety, and as you opened, at two levels. Our own residents are always concerned, and of course, we want to do the humanitarian thing for the migrants.
Yeah, because let's not get mad at the wrong people here. You ought to be mad at the politicians, not mad at the people who are coming here, because the vast majority of these people don't know which way is up. They've been lied to since they left their home, wherever they are. And they're just trying to figure out where they go next. So you can get mad at the governor of Texas. You can get mad at J.B. Pritzker. And you can get mad at Joe Biden. You know, Senator Durbin was on yesterday. And I said, why can't we tell the president of Mexico, guess what? This is your issue until we get this under control. Right. But we can't take anybody anymore until further notice. Right.
Mayor Johnson pointed out that 70% of the migrants, are from Venezuela. Mm-hmm. And, I presume they're walking, so wow. But, what is Mexico doing at the Guatemalan border? What are these countries doing? There has to be an immigration program where you can, migrate from your your home country. That's what most of our relatives all did over the years. And yeah, Washington's really to blame. We have a sieve at the border. We don't have a border policy. And we have Mexico to look to very harshly, I believe, because they're just being a conduit for all these people to come up into our country. And I have a real concern about the asylum. Yes, they're here legally. Yes, let's try to make things easier for them. And I do agree with Mayor Johnson about more work authorization. But I'm concerned that the asylum programs are mythical, that they're not being enforced by the government. I'm told that it's only volunteer agencies that are trying to get the paperwork in.
Well,
After
I mean,
all,
as you know, a good portion of the weight of this falls on Catholic charities in the city. And in your town, I'm sure it's churches and charitable organizations.
Catholic Charities is one of the organizations that Mayor Johnson did comment positively, of course, that they are trying to relocate people and they are trying to put together programs for asylum. But you know, this is too big an issue, and I think that's really where Mayor Johnson's coming from. He is looking for moral support and actual support, especially from Washington. It's too big a problem, even for cities the size of New York, Denver, and Chicago, to handle at this point. Is my takeaway from the meeting.
Yeah, and the last thing I'd say, too, to Governor Abbott and to anybody in the most affected states, and specifically Texas and Arizona, you made your political point. Now stop it.
Right. Agree. Because
you're hurting these people as well. No, you shouldn't have to take it on. So part of your plea to Washington in Texas and Arizona should be, help us get these people to other states. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of states that aren't Illinois and New York and other places. So I'd like to see that too, Mayor.
Yeah, I would like to see more equity in that regard. But after all, the governor invited these people to come here, and it's been almost a year and a half. And you just saw the other day, there's a breakdown in coordination, even on shelters between the state and the city of Chicago. Mayor Johnson is trying his best, I think. We could criticize him for this and that, but that's easy to Monday morning quarterback.
Well, we should tell people, too, as a Republican, you want to work with them in a bipartisan way. This is the way politics is supposed to work.
I agree, and I believe the Republicans and the Democrats, that's what you have to do, come together in a crisis. This is a crisis. I'd like to see more done by our governor. He's had this problem on his plate for almost a year and a half, and we're still in dire circumstances. So it's coordination, and I do give Mayor Johnson credit for reaching out to us, trying to keep us informed. Our residents, all of us mayors, we have to report to our boards and our residents. They want the information, and so information is power, and we have to use it to try to solve this problem.
Check back in with us anytime. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thanks, Mayor.
Steve, Andrea, thank you very much.
Thank you,
That's
Mayor.
Mayor Gary Grasso in beautiful Burr Ridge.
Love Burr Ridge.